I recently saw this article on the Book of Faces, and this article was talking about how the government, particularly the Toll Regulatory Board or TRB, was mulling over the idea of whether or not to finally allow small motorcycles back on the tollways or expressways. Currently, only motorcycles with displacement of 400cc and above were allowed entry into the expressways. Now, I don't know if this article is real or true, or if it was just yet another fake news floating on the net, but if you were to ask me, I'd say I was in favor of it. Yeah, I was definitely in favor of allowing small displacement motorcycles into the expressways. And it wasn't because I rode one and I have a big bike, so no problems there if I wanted to get on the expressway. But because most small displacement motorcycles, particularly those with displacements of at least 100cc, would have very little problems whatsoever keeping up with the flow of traffic along the expressways, with the legal speed limit range being around 60 kph to 100 kph. Not to mention that small motorcycles had been allowed on the expressway before and there were no problems back then. At least not major ones that I know of or I was aware of. So I don't think there'd be any problems now either. Now I'm very well aware that a lot of people are gonna disagree with me on this and some might even go so far, as to call me names or accuse me of siding with and encouraging squid riders or what we call kamote riders here about or even both. It's a very unpopular stance after all, and indeed, many of the comments on Facebook confirms this. People talk about how the expressway management should prepare a fleet of ambulances ready and waiting for when the kamote riders come in droves and the accident rates skyrocket. They talk about how there'll be rampant disregard for the rules and the laws of the road as kamote riders selfishly and recklessly go about their own way. That it'll be a veritable free-for-all on the expressways, like the wild wild west of old. As if the expressway enforcers would stop working and performing their duties when or if small motorcycles are allowed into the tollways. As if all small bike riders are kamote riders, when in reality they are kamote riders even among the big bike riders. The reckless disregard for the posted speed limits being their favorite violation or indiscretion if you will. Never mind the sad reality that kamotes likewise exist among drivers of four-wheeled vehicles. Now, I don't know if these people are joking or if they are being serious, but I feel that such fears are unfounded. Money is a major issue or factor on one's decision to ride a small motorcycle. Small displacement bikes are just that much cheaper to buy, use, and maintain as compared to big bikes and cars. Of course, personal preferences, biases, and convenience, as well as one's purpose or reason for getting a ride, are all major factors as well. But, you really can't deny the importance of one's available funds and resources in making one's decision. Indeed, I've lost count of the number of times I've heard of people settling for a bike because the bike that they really wanted was just too expensive. It shouldn't come as a surprise then that small bike riders won't be coming down in droves on the expressway like so much water that floods the land when the dam breaks. Oh, they'd use the expressways for sure if it was open to them, but not in the numbers that people are expecting, in my opinion. Most small bike riders would rather use the service roads and alternative routes than go on the expressways. And those that do opt for the tollways in all likelihood would do so only once or twice a week. 3 times at most, but most definitely not every day. Put simply, most small bike riders would not be able to afford it on a daily basis. Tollway fees are no joking matter after all. Definitely not pocket change for the average small bike rider. That's why they ride small bikes in the first place. Most small bike riders don't have a lot of extra moolah burning holes in their wallets. Yeah, to be sure, there'd be many riders on small motorcycles using the tollways during the first couple of weeks. But once the novelty of being able to use the expressways wear off, the numbers are sure to go down. Yeah, that's for sure. As for kamote riders, and for sure there'd be a few mixed into the bunch of riders that would be availing of the expressways should it be made open to small displacement motorcycles. This I'm not denying. Let me just ask this question. How come motorcycle riders, regardless of the displacement of their rides, behave themselves whenever they visit Subic or Clark? And note that this applies to both kamotes and non-kamotes alike. It all boils down to the strict and proper implementation of traffic rules and regulations. Do the same on the expressways, and any kamote daring to flaunt his kamotiness would be asking for a world of trouble. Do it long enough and consistently, and it'll hammer in the point that no shenanigans will be tolerated on the expressways. And kamote riders will be forced to swallow that bitter pill, and they will either toe the line or go somewhere else. Better yet, do a good job and you'll be keeping in line both kamote riders and drivers alike. Letting in small motorcycles into the expressways will actually be a good thing for everyone involved if you think about it. Oh yeah, it's bound to develop more work for the expressway enforcers for sure, but not too much as to be oppressive or impossible to fulfill. In fact, it's not gonna be that difficult, I think. I mean, it's much easier to patrol the expressways as well as implement and enforce rules and regulations as compared to, say, the streets and national roads. To boot, you basically control the entrances and exits of the expressways and no side streets and alternative roads to worry about. So no, I don't think kamote riders will pose that much of a problem if small displacement bikes are ever allowed back into the expressways. Well, that's it for now. While I still have quite a bit that I could talk about the matter, I think I'll leave it at that. I may make another video about it, but who knows. Yeah, as always, we'll see. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for watching and listening. Until next time then.